Okay, let's check everything. We're on all of our platforms tonight, right? I think I am. Sure looks like it. Yes. Yes, as a matter of fact. Let me double check, but I think the sound should be okay. And it is. Yes. Sure looks like it. Yes. Oh, hold on a moment. Yes, as a matter of fact. Hold on. Just a moment, everyone. We have a very special guest that's going to join. Okay. We'll let everybody file in. As you know, it was very dramatic last night. And let me just see where we are. You know, we used to do this all the time, and now it's not as much. But thank you very much. Oh, there we go. Stop that! What are you doing? There you go. Okay. As I say to myself, all right. Let's see. See where everybody is. 7:30 Sunday night. That much is true. Yes, there I am. What a busy day. Special guest. I'm going to bring him on momentarily. Let me see where we are. Let's just do this. Also want to pull up. Yes, there we go. All right, enough of that. Stop talking. I think we should be live on YouTube as well. It was quite a night last night. And there it is. Let me pull that up. Yes, there we go. Here's our YouTube crowd. Continues to grow. Yes, there we go. Okay. How many followers? Where are we at? Our YouTube team is getting there. What are we at? 60,000. Almost 60,000. Okay. Now, let me check with our special guest. I believe he agreed to. We're waiting for him. In the meantime, I guess I can chat with everybody. Last night was pretty dramatic. I don't want to scare off our guest, but we are waiting for him. Just, I can say, there's Mary D. Yes, hello, Mary. There's Jean Kimball. Hola, there's Robin. Here he is as the crowd continues to grow. Kathy Santos, everybody. So last night, that was pretty dramatic, right? We were the only ones that had both the scene and then also the only one that had footage. Let's see. Let me see where we are. Yes, that was me. Was that you on Court TV talking about the serial killer? Do I really have to answer this question? All right. As much as I want to greet everyone, which I do, we have a very special guest that should be coming on momentarily. He agreed to come on. Don't tell me I'm going to get stiffed on this, right? No, that's not going to happen. There's Paula. There's Sherry Manchester. I don't know. I don't have time. I don't know what that is. Okay. Let me, where is my guest? Oh, here we go. Where are we? That's not who I'm looking for. All right, he agreed to be on. I did say this time. Do I have to call him? Don't tell me. Wait a minute. Let me see. He's not there. What? He offered to come on. What? Oh, we purposely didn't ride tonight. All right, I'm not ready to give up ship just yet. Where is my... Other than that, I guess we could be chatting for a little while. We were going to ride tonight. And then there's Bruce. Hola. Thank you very much, Sherry. Yes, a lot of people are unsure about it. This is one of those things. National television. Actually, as much as Court TV, I say national, it's actually international. I heard from some people from Australia that were watching on the serial killer. Folks, it's also just interesting to me. As many of you know, we go out, right, on road patrol. As we're doing it and we're at all these scenes, it never occurred to me that this could end up in front of a national audience. And then something like that coming in. There's Chanel, Chanel. There's Joyce. Good evening, everybody. So we were going to ride tonight. And then I made contact with, I don't want to spook him, but I know. Morning was hoping. I don't know what that means. Katia Brookie. Morning was hoping we was going to be watching some action tonight. Stayed up to watch. Where are you watching from? Maybe we could do that. We do have people. Are you in the UK? We have people in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, the hat. 401. That's our area code. So, well, this would be very disappointing. The hat is available. I got to push the merch more. Let me check. Are you kidding me? All right. 1 hour ago, I haven't been... Oh, did he call me? He did call me. Okay.
How you doing?
Good. Hey, did you get the link? We're waiting for you. Okay. Are you ready to roll? Oh, okay. All right. 5 minutes. And how would you like me to address you, Adonis or Carlos? You tell me. Whatever you want. Adonis, then that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Okay. Hey, listen, that's what we're rolling with. Then that's what I'm going to call you. All right. Listen, you have the link, right? You have the link. Okay. You get home. We're live. We're waiting, and we're good to go. Okay. All right, Adonis. I'll talk to you in 5. Okay. All right, folks. There it is. We're going to talk to Adonis, and then all right. That's good to know. He went to go get some medication. I should have asked if I could get some. Based on what happened, I'm willing to bet he's got some good stuff. Maybe I should have agreed to do this in person. Score some oxy. I could always get that at Kennedy Plaza, though. How about, I want to also be very clear. I enjoyed the crowd last night. There's Donna. All right, well, I shared my thoughts on Court TV. We're not reliving that. We're on a different topic. Would you... Well, we're going to ask that question, Jesus, excuse me. Yes, that's right, Stephanie. Folks, the hat is available. I should push the hat more. In the shop, at DePietro.com. I have to start selling more merch. There's Donna McKnight. There's everybody on the Sunday night. Tomorrow night, I will be in court once again for the Karen Reed trial. Folks, think of last week. I did Court TV Serial Killer Monday. Did Court TV outside of the courthouse Tuesday morning. Did Fox Nation Live Friday from 3 to 3:45. Did Court TV Friday night on the serial killer. Folks, crime scenes and courthouses. That's where we are. There's Leah. Hola. There's Pat. There's Don. There's my friend Donna. Yep. Oh, Carol, you missed a good one. Folks, that was pretty good last night. Last night, as we wait for Adonis to join us, I think you're going to enjoy the interview. We'll start to do, thank you very much. Robin has been here. Robin has seen this really grow. Admittedly, folks, we've gone to another level here, right? I mean, I think we can say that. I think we should be close to 93,000 followers on Facebook. TikTok's at 100, almost 108,000 followers. But when you start to be on national platforms 2-3 times a week, this week coming up, I'm sure we're going to be on Court TV. Plus this Friday coming up again, Fox Nation streaming on the Karen Reed trial. I think I'm booked for Newsmax on Thursday. There's Heather. Hola. Yes, thank you, Linda. It was. There's Caitlin. As I said, the crowd was terrific last night. Very, very nice people. Of which I think, as people know, I think one of the things they find, I also want to point out as we're waiting for Adonis, we'll do more interviews like this. But the other thing I want to point out is when we were on Hazel, which is where the suspect was arrested, if you noticed, that woman in the doorway, she was so nice to let me stand in her driveway. She was very familiar with the program. Obviously, the police, right? Law enforcement. We saw our canine officer that had the light. He wears like a miner's hat. How much is that? $19.99 on Amazon. And then, obviously, when we were at the scene, we had a nice crowd that are all fans. Thank you very much. Joe Brady starts us off. Those are the first. Yes, Robin, I've heard that. I've been around a long time. I think you may want to phrase that differently. How about that, Angelo? Yes, thank you, Angelo. Angelo, I hope you don't mind company. Some Friday afternoon, I'm going to be next to you. What you were drinking looked great, and that cigar got my attention. If there's room for one more, I wouldn't mind sitting next to you, Angelo. So, fantastic. Yes. All right. I've been around. No, she said a long time. All right, we're waiting for Adonis. You're going to like our guest. Let's just wait till he locks in, then we can go into detail a little bit. Folks, but very busy day. It's going to be a busy week ahead. Now, listen, we are going to be out on road patrol this week, even though I'm also doing the trial. So I've managed to figure out a schedule. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Leah. I have figured out, I think, yes, we will make it work. I think after the trial. This is a long trial. Trial's going to go into June. It's a big commitment. But, the other good news, the Fox Nation streaming, so that's Fox News Channel, but Fox Nation live streaming, I think this is going to become a regular thing. I think so. And the host is just terrific. Well, I appreciate that, Miranda. I can't always send stars, but I'm here every night. Well, if you can't send stars, you're not here every night. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're very, very appreciative. We'll wait. Again, he's had quite the period of 24 hours, our guest for this evening, Adonis, and we'll see what he can share with us. You're going to like it, though. Yes, that's right. Miguel, there he is. Kate's going to have to come home from Fox News to manage all your media appearances. Last Wednesday, Miguel, you'll appreciate this, and good to see you. Mike Degnan was the fixture on Juan After Dark. And then I get it. When we're out on road patrol, not as much. I should probably work out a mix where we're doing this and then also out. But okay, here's our guest. But on Wednesday night, Kate did Fox Nation streaming from the nation's capital with Dana Perino and Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary. And then I was on Friday afternoon. All right, he is ready to roll. Let's bring him on. And he's had quite the 24 hours. Good evening, Adonis.
How you doing, John? It's a pleasure to be here.
Good evening, Adonis. Oh, all right. Cool. He's got to. Can you? Yeah, there you go. Go right ahead.
How you doing? It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. Okay. All right. Now, first of all, Adonis. First of all, how are you feeling?
As best I can feel, due to the circumstances and everything going on,
What can you tell us about what happened? Is this accurate that it was your birthday yesterday?
It definitely was my birthday yesterday, 100%.
Was your birthday? All right. Happy belated.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Here by the grace of God.
All right. You are. Do you mind? I mean, this is the first interview I've ever done that I can recall in a while that someone was shot by a sibling. So what can you tell us? What happened? I would think it's a celebration. It's your birthday. Your brother is there. What happened?
Currently, there's a little legal things going on, and the politics, but for what I could say is, it's not what they portray it to be always.
Okay. You share whatever you want and whatever you're comfortable with, Adonis.
No, absolutely. I don't want it to hurt anybody as far as like legally, and then lawyers are gonna be there. We haven't even hit courts yet, and but as from what I could say, yeah, I was supposed to be having a great time. Things were not. They were not. Nobody wakes up and be like, yeah, you're gonna get shot in the face. Today.
How? First of all, let's start off. How was the day? How was the birthday? The day itself?
Let's see. Started off the day good. I got to call my daughter, my little baby girl. She's about to be 1 and the 20th, and wow. Excited. We're both Tauruses. I called. Was talking to her, was making plans to hang out with the family, go later on to my mom's house and visit her, and it was a really good day. I'm gonna be honest with you. It wouldn't even register as a thought like something like this would happen, especially out of all days, a day of celebration, like you said.
Now, we don't want to. You don't want to get anybody in trouble. But when did things take a turn? Turn for that just went to another place.
I would say when people started drinking, like everything, people could have a good time and everything, but involve liquor, and then you involve pride and ego and lots of people, watching, females around and everything. It becomes an atmosphere of toxic masculinity.
Yep.
I would say it's the liquor.
You think it's the liquor? Because I was wondering, I mean, did you get some gifts? Were people giving you bottles of booze? Or was it good cannabis? Yeah. Did someone say, hey, happy birthday, here's some really good weed?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I smoke. I'm an active 420 guy, we were smoking, we were drinking, like, people were coming with bottles, wine, food, and it was a good turn. It's just, things, it was so quick. Everything happened so quick, and that's how people are here, and some people split second decisions,
Now, Adonis, take us outside. You posted that remarkable video we see the Providence paramedics. You posted, "Pray for me. I just got shot." And there you are. I mean, by the grace of God, you're able to do that. I also want to point out where I think it was actually wise for you to do that is when word spreads, instead of people thinking the worst, at
Yeah.
least someone could say, "Oh, wait a minute, I see him." I took that as you were trying to send a message to your friends and family, like, "Hey, listen, you're
So
going to hear about this, but I'm okay."
yeah, so I already knew that the situation was gonna blow up out of proportion, not only because of the magnitude of what happened, but also because of the platform that I myself possess and what I do for business. I didn't I I didn't think, oh, I got shot. Let me post it. Like, no, you can't see your, so, especially because of where I got shot. When I got shot, I couldn't see myself, and I definitely wasn't gonna about to. I don't want to touch your face. You're scared. So the first thing that I did was turn on my camera so I could be able to see myself and where I got shot. Because the first thing that I thought I thought I got shot in the top of my head, not in my face. So I wanted to see where I was bleeding from, and then
What
I posted it,
what is that
and then
like? I've never been shot. What is that like?
um, I've been around situations, but I never had nothing directed at me like you can walk around. We live in a society where people die and they're shooting, and this time that we live in, the magnitude of school shootings and people shooting each other and killing each other over significant things so high. I when I got shot, that's what I said. It's the first time, that's like, especially in my face. If you see your arm and you get shot in your arm or your hand, you can see it. But when you see your face, you don't know if it's your head or the temple. You know that it's something worse though. So it's
Adonis, that's,
within.
it's
I
actually,
If yesterday was the lottery, I had the winning ticket. That's what they told me in the hospital.
well, I mean, a headshot, a lot of times
I'm
that's
assuming you're having Juan after that. But
that can be fatal. A headshot can be fatal. How loud was it? And when did
very.
you realize that you had been struck?
I think what did you say? I apologize for you broke up. The connection broke up a little bit.
How loud was it? And when did you realize that you had actually been struck, that you had been shot?
Um, surprisingly, when it all happened, it the adrenaline that you feel, it's like, okay, like I know there was a gun pointed at me, and this is why my fingers are wrapped, because I originally grabbed it
Wow.
so to point it away from my face. But it didn't just hit me in my face; it also hit my hand. So I already knew I was hit. The bullet traveled from my hand and then into my face, and then it's in the back of my neck right now.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
It's
Are you in pain? Are you in pain right now? Or do they give you good meds?
no. When I was in the hospital, yeah, they gave me good medication, but they told me that I'm very, everything that was to happen for me to be alive and continue like nothing happened. I'm in pain absolutely, but no, nothing else, nothing. Just antibodies and they'll get it out.
There was a woman that was out in front who was wildly
That
upset. Um, was that family? Is that a friend or any idea on that?
my mother.
It was
That's
your
my mother.
mom.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that would explain why she would be so upset.
Yes. Now, Adonis, who else you wanna, you want to thank? How were they at the hospital? Maybe friends or family that were reaching out. I want to give you an opportunity to thank people. This has been a very
Yeah.
intense 24-hour period for you.
I do want to take,
I just want to say, I think it's
you
a
know,
Wi-Fi
praying for
connection. I'm
me,
not sure.
everybody
Go
that,
ahead.
you know,
Go
send out
ahead.
their positive energy. I even had somebody even reach out to me for a radio show, and you know, victims advocate, and people even sent bottles to my room. It's crazy. I want to thank every
Now,
positive and negative. You know, we live in a free world where, you know, you're free to feel how you want to feel, and I understand everybody was a little skeptical, like, yo, why is he shot and trying to record himself? But if you got shot in your face, not your hand, but in your face, you would want to see where you got shot. That's all.
now, have you spoken with your brother?
Oh no, as far as I know, he's still incarcerated and they're processing him. You know, it's a weekend, so you're not gonna see a judge until Monday. And you know, Monday I'll be at court. And as crazy as this sounds, I have no hate in my heart, and I just want him to get the help that he needs. And I'm gonna go speak in his behalf. Like, he needs gun gun safety awareness. So it's so serious in this country that
Yep.
needs to be addressed. You know, everybody has access to guns, whether, and he's not a felon. You know, he's licensed to carry, you know, and everything. But people need to be evaluated. Their mental health needs to be evaluated at least every quarterly or trimesterly. But people, just because you have a gun doesn't mean you're going to be okay for the rest of your life. Things happen. People lose jobs. Mental health check. Check, man.
What kind? I know it's still early, Adonis. And again, folks, I want you to understand what you're looking at the bandages. Less than 20, well, a little over 24 hours ago, he was shot at the scene we were at last night in Providence, celebrating his birthday. Maybe it's too early, but how has this impacted? You know, do you feel this has changed your life? Did you have like a religious awakening?
I
What
did.
was it like waking up today?
I definitely feel the grace of God, and I definitely am more grateful and aware, and I'm. It definitely impacted me. It's to even now, like, I like family members and people want to see me and talk to me, and I'm keeping my distance because I don't know how to feel yet. You know, like, I'm still in the process of healing. I'm still processing. You know, people are asking me, "Oh, that's your brother," and "Oh, are you mad at him?" I'm not mad at him. I love him. I'm the oldest, and I just it could.
Beautiful.
I want him to get the help that he needs. That's all. That's all. That's all.
He needs forgiveness, Adonis. This is a tough burden for him to carry his whole life. This is tough.
I know. I know. I
Let's.
cannot.
I just want
I
to
cannot.
I want to inject a little reality here. 1 inch closer,
What I'm
one
telling
inch more to the center. You and I are
you.
not having this conversation. You understand that?
Yeah, they told me that at the hospital. One, one little, one little,
Centimeter.
yeah,
How?
centimeter. Yep.
Talk a little bit, and I want people to understand. I shared this with you. I'm very impressed with you. So I know. Listen, we can say what's the most important, but at the same time, you're you are an artist. You
Yeah.
create. You have a big following. I was impressed of all the people I've covered. You have a huge following on Facebook. You have the group. We got to build up your Instagram a little bit, but we'll get there. But talk a little bit about what you've done and how, this could be very impactful
Yeah.
on what you create going forward, Adonis.
Absolutely. Well, as you said, I do have a good platform and support system that I built over the years. I am an entrepreneur. You know, I do business with people with content and all sorts of content. And, like, yes, the main, you know, this is off topic, but it's what I do from here on. Like, what happened yesterday was God giving me another chance to
Was.
to preach about His glory, to preach about living, you know, about changing, about forgiveness. Because I can't I can't become a better man if I'm still holding that burden in the back of my shoulder, sitting here feeling like I have to get revenge. Or it's none of that. We in life, we need to be kind to one another and learn how to cope with one another and coexist, and not just stomp down on people, but also uplift people. And that's kind of what I do too. Like, I speak to people, I do a little social media management, I got the group, I make music, I'm a photographer. I love content. I've been doing it since I was younger, but I took a different path, and obviously, running with the streets, being young, and I never really got serious with it. So it's like every time I make a little skit or a video or something, it makes numbers, people recognize me, hi, da, 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 but then I disappear. Dealing with incarcerations and all types of stuff.
Adonis, I want you to know, when I was in church this morning, I prayed for you, but I also prayed for your brother, because when I learned he was your brother, that's a tough one, because you can't hate. It'll destroy your life and his life if you hate him for this.
Absolutely. And I appreciate your prayers. Trust and believe me, for everybody, including yourself, though, those prayers, they mean a lot. How you doing goes a long way in this world. You just never know what someone's dealing with, honestly speaking.
I also want you to know, Adonis, last night when I was outside of your apartment building, that you live around good people. They're really nice people. I mean, listen, everyone was sad. People wanted to go and comfort your mom, but the people that live there, I was getting all positive vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an unfortunate incident, but like I said, like, I don't want the social media or the police to point him out as this kind of guy, because he's not. He's definitely not. You can go look his name up. It's public record. He has no record. He's 20 years old. Doesn't have a misdemeanor. What does that tell you? That he's staying in trouble. He just has mental health problems that need to be addressed. And it's hard it's not only it's hard having mental problems, but it's hard being a man and speaking about mental problems, because of the way that society and social media and TV portrays. We have to be tough. It's not okay to be sad. And the reality is, as a man, it's okay to speak about your feelings.
Adonis, last night, you've joined, not willingly, but a very unique club. I thought of President Trump, him getting shot last summer. That changed his life. I mean, tell us, you're right there. Look at the bandage, folks. The bullet striking your face that easily, another 0.5 millimeter.
Right here.
And this is a different situation. What was it like waking up this morning? This is a new life that you have.
I just want to spread kindness. I want to build and monopolize on a situation to make it something positive. Take something negative and make it positive. So we can all learn from this and we can all heal, because not when someone dies or someone gets hurt, not only are you hurting that person, but you're also hurting the family of that person, and especially when it's a sticky situation like this. It goes all the way.
I love you said you're the older brother.
Mm-hmm.
This is leading by example to you have a younger brother who right now is hurting after what happened.
It needs guidance.
Or allegedly what happened. Allegedly.
Still allegations.
Allegedly what happened. Yeah.
But ain't nothing.
Now, hey, listen, on a personal note, I feel bad. Isn't there someone that could have run? You had to go and get the medication. Is there someone that could have run to the drugstore for you?
With everything that's happened, my mother's hurt. I'm by myself. That's one thing about me. I'm the oldest. I always been by myself. I take care of myself. I get up with the gunshot wound and the bullet in my back. Still handle business, because just because you're hurt or just a huddle in front of you doesn't mean that you gotta get up. You gotta get up. You gotta fight. You cannot give up. You cannot feel bad for yourself, because you're not a victim. You're a survivor. You're a survivor. If you survive something heinous, you're a survivor. You're not a victim. You're only a victim if you allow yourself to be a victim.
What tell me about what you thought of, and then especially when you told us you talked to your, your daughter, your little 1-year-old yesterday, that she was so close to growing up without a father.
That you think about all the things that you didn't and all you leave behind, and like your kids, your mother, your family, and then how easy it could have takes one for it all to be gone. You just be a memory, So I'm just trying to leave a legacy, a positive one, and not dwell on the past, but grow from it.
I'm definitely going to share your page. Do you mind just also what what was it like riding in the rescue from that scene, and that was a wild scene, to the hospital? Just they're working on you. It's an unknown.
So yeah,
You're talking about a bullet. What was that like?
very a rush of adrenaline. I'm not gonna lie. Eye awakening. Shout out to the paramedics. They did a great job under the circumstances and not knowing where the bullet or anything was. They did a wonderful job. They gave me medication. They cleaned my face, clean up the blood. They put a whole bunch of like stuff on me, and right after that they took care of me, make sure that I was okay, put the IV in, make sure I they cut my clothes open, making sure that there weren't any other exit wounds or anything.
Yeah. Now, where you live, I mean, it's terrible, but it's not that unusual to have shootings
Yeah,
in that area, different parts of Providence. Does this, you listen, you've heard when there's gunshots, you've heard when there's,
yeah.
suddenly the crime scene, the tape goes up, the police are all there. But how does this change? How do you think you're now going to view this?
How am I gonna view the situation? I mean, I just trying to be positive by it, and be grateful to God that I'm even here to have an opinion on it, you know. Because instead of you talking to me, you could have been reporting a homicide.
Yes. Yeah.
Some
Adonis, God spared you. Now the question is, what are you going to do? Like, what is behind that? And I know it's still so early, but it was less than 24 hours ago. I mean, that's also, it kind of puts a weight on your shoulders. Like,
yeah,
obviously, there's a larger plan for you because God spared you last night.
yes, he did, and hopefully, hopefully, I can be used a useful tool for God to get. So whatever plan He has for me, I hope I get there with His grace. You know.
Touch on, mention some of the people that you work with. You work with some pretty creative people.
So,
You've established a very strong reputation.
hmm
You're seen as a rising star in this industry. Just touch, if you don't mind, touch on some of the people that you've worked with. Maybe you want to just
um,
acknowledge them.
well, shout out to Princess Sin, beautiful model, beautiful model. Um, Ashley Batista, one another artist, beautiful model as well. Danny Barbosa, and even my brother D Rose, man. Like I I got nothing. Yeah.
It's amazing. All right. Well, Adonis, I'm going to share your pages. We're going to revisit
Yeah.
this,
Yeah. We keep.
and I want you to know that we'll
Yeah.
definitely do something. And I want to give you a platform because there's few people. I think more people that go through what you've gone through need to speak about it. Need to let others know of what happened. I think it's a very powerful message. I was in Pawtucket Wednesday night, and it didn't have the outcome that we had last night. It
Yeah.
had a very sad outcome on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that I I'm sorry for my condolences, and
Yeah,
we live in hard times, man. And I
we
appreciate that.
do.
And we can revisit this very soon. I got more stuff coming out, and let's
Good.
see what you know. I
Yeah.
appreciate
And I'll come. I mean, I like the people where you live. They're great. They're really, really good people. And everybody was concerned. And I could see the reaction,
Yeah,
everyone that heard. You've made impact on your community and the people around there. So just know that.
yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, John. And I definitely will try to be a positive influencer and content creator from now on, and try to do my best.
Good.
Yeah. I
Adonis,
should
listen,
probably
you've been through a lot. Get some rest.
yeah. I appreciate you having me, and state what's done
You,
basis, and
you
thank
do your
everybody
thing. All
for holding
right.
us.
We'll talk again. We'll talk
Absolutely.
again, Adonis. Okay. All right, folks. There he is. All right. Boy, that doesn't happen every day. I give him a lot of credit. You realize now that happened. That was less than 24 hours ago. Less than 24 hours ago. And just to fill in the blank, that was his brother, who's the suspect. We don't know what happened. The suspect. That's a tough one to live with. I give him so much credit. I mean, you can just, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. But when I heard it was the brother, I don't know what happened. I'm going to leave that to the brother. Will be in court tomorrow. You heard Adonis say he's going to go and see him. What strikes me about that is you hear, he's got a positive way about him. He's got a really positive message. That is not an easy one. I mean, you folks, you saw the bandage. I won't say who. I spoke with someone connected to the hospital. Like, oh my God. I mean, well, we know with President Trump, another millimeter. And that President Trump, if he hadn't turned, I mean, that it's the most dangerous area is the head. So, and I also want to point out, last night you saw the Providence paramedics. He mentioned them and thanked them. You saw Providence police. They had a certain demeanor on the scene. I didn't know who that was. I feel bad. That was his mom. You can understand why she was so emotional. It also happened inside. But I also want to stress to people, last night you saw, well, I didn't know it was his brother at the time. When we were on Hazel, where the suspect was, the people on the street, and even what was his name? Nick or Philip, that was smoking the cigarette and said I could stand on his driveway. That woman couldn't have been nicer. The people last night that came outside that were chatting, really, really nice. So there are good people, but that's a tough one. That is a tough one. But he has a lot of content that I'm gonna share, and he does have a lot. I'll share his Facebook page. He's got a lot of followers on his Facebook page, so we'll learn more about him. Well, listen, folks, we'll I hope everyone enjoyed it. Now, this is different. Obviously, easier. I'm not riding around everywhere, but to me, and I know someone put, oh, I was looking forward to you riding around. Well, I like that. And what I want you to also understand, and thank you for all the stars tonight, folks. I mean, I think it's worth it, right? We're giving you content that you literally can't get anywhere else. And I know that it can be a little tricky with the Wi-Fi, so I think his Wi-Fi was a little in and out, but you get the bulk of it. But I also want you to understand, because some people don't, but the reason we ride around is so when something happens, we're right there, and we're right there before everyone else. I know, listen, there's always haters out there. There's some people that say he rides around and he's got the command center and they monitor the police radios and they know. Yeah, that's pretty friggin' accurate of what's going on. And as a result of that, boom, we get to scenes before anybody else gets to scenes. I didn't see the suspect. I didn't see any footage with anybody else. Nope. How about the other night in Cranston? There was nobody. We were the only ones there for that type of thing. And last night we were bouncing back and forth from, unfortunately, where they got his brother till then back at the scene. So, right. That's why we do that. That's why we do that. I mean, if you play baseball, the best way to catch some fly balls in the outfield is be in the outfield. If you're in center field, what happens if then they hit a fly ball to center field? You get a chance to catch it. So, I mean, I don't understand. I don't focus on it, and it doesn't discourage me. But I don't understand these people that say he rides around. But yes, that is 100% right. So therefore, the action of boom right there when it goes on. Yes, I'm at a loss to try to figure out what the frig is the problem with some of these people that complain. Like, yeah, that's exactly what we do. Right? As Willie Horton said, they asked him, why do you rob banks? He's like, I don't know. That's where the money is. Yeah, we're out. So then something happens and you're right there. And actually, sometimes we stumble into stuff by just being out. And again, no one's discouraging me. I mean, we're on national television as they are following Road Patrol Live. I love the thing, Court TV Friday night. You could see the sign right in the back. But we're going to make more of an effort on this. Now, granted, not everyone is as forthcoming, and we'll talk about things as Adonis. And I just want to be very clear. He did not say his brother was at fault. He did not lay out anything like that. I think he even said he's going to go to court and try to help to try to get his brother doesn't have, according to him, a criminal record. He feels his brother needs some mental health. I mean, I like hearing that. So, and he's a young guy, and he's a young father. And this thing, I just can't. I mean, this thing could have gone in a whole nother way. Wow. I mean, that is, you saw the bandages. I mean, he was shot in the face. And then, his hands kind of deflected a little bit. So he had bullet fragments in you could see like in the hands. Wow. He didn't say it, but I mean, it was inside. It must have been so freaking loud. I mean, it's loud when it's outside. Inside must have just been really brutal. So now, folks, it's only 8:18. Now, I have some work to get organized. Let me just double check while we're live for the week. No interest. Let's see what else. Okay. Good job on Court TV. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. No, I think it's terrific. Who else do you see? Who else around here is on national television as much as The Chosen One? It's also comical, folks. I mean, it was just a couple months ago. Friggin' Rhode Island Monthly did this big story, independent media. I wasn't even included. Just last week alone, Fox Nation, Court TV, doing Newsmax, this all as me. Rhode Island Monthly. They had Pork Boy's producer. They had, I don't even know who they had people, I don't even know who the hell they are. You know what? It's all just because where the politics come in. I did think, I was also thinking the visual. Imagine President Trump embracing Adonis in the Oval Office. Two survivors of, President Trump, remember the ear all blown up with the bandage. Listen, it changes you. It definitely changes you. So I know, as I was going to say, I know a lot of people like when we do the ride around, as do I, obviously. However, when we have a chance to do an interview like that, which I think it's certainly different, it's impactful, it's very timely, it's topical. You know what else I like about it in talking to Adonis folks is normally our paths wouldn't cross. It's not a political discussion, right? We're not bashing the police. We're not talking about what's going on in Washington. It's none of that. We're talking, he lives in the city. Boom. This is life and death. And I I want you to know, I mean, I really like the people that came out last night. I appreciate that. It shows me we're breaking through. When I'm standing in someone's driveway at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night and they know who I am, I think we're getting somewhere. And I didn't mean it. So many of the people, they're really, really nice. So here's what we're going to do. I want to thank Adonis. I'm glad we were able to pull that off. It's not easy sometimes. So thank you for all the stars tonight, folks, as we continue. Now, again, next week, it's going to be more of the same. We'll be out. I will be in court for the Karen Reed trial. And I want you to understand this. It's really difficult to get in the courtroom. Like, really difficult to get in the courtroom. They only allow 10 members of the media to be in the courtroom. They've had over 100 requests. 100 requests. Tomorrow, it's going to be Dateline NBC, ABC News, and I will be in there as well. So, but anyhow, and also, this shouldn't be lost on you. I want you to understand the pattern. Last night, we had info first from Providence Police. We had information about what happened before anyone else from the Providence Police. Wednesday night, when we were in Pawtucket, I mean, you saw the chief of police come walking right over, and then everyone else scrambled, right? When we were in North Providence on Holy Thursday, boom, Chief Ruggiero right there on the phone. Folks, I want to just touch on something before we sign off. I admit, I work with the police. We obviously enjoy a good relationship with the police. Doing court TV about the possible serial killer on Friday night, I've spoken with Connecticut police. I see the Massachusetts State Police every day at the courthouse. I'll admit, I have a problem. I do, with people that hate the police. And I'm not even going to get into the fact that there's someone out there who is saying they dream. I don't even like to talk about it. They dream of police officers burned to death in the homes with their families. To me, that sounds like a domestic terrorist. If there's someone out there, and there is, saying that what they want is police officers I don't even like saying it, to burn in their homes with their families. I am telling you, that type of talk, that to me sounds like a domestic terrorist. It does. Who else would talk that way? It's so off the rails. No, the Providence police last night were terrific. The Pawtucket police the other night were terrific. And obviously, we were working with Cranston on Wednesday. When was Pawtucket? Was Pawtucket? I can't even keep track anymore. Was Pawtucket Tuesday? I don't even know. Was Pawtucket Tuesday? I think Pawtucket was Tuesday, and then Cranston was Wednesday. I don't remember. Or was Cranston Thursday? I don't know. All right, folks, that's going to do it for Sunday night. Now, listen, don't panic. If anything really major happens, we'll be out. Otherwise, we'll be live tomorrow, 1 to 2, bring you up to speed outside the courthouse. Thank you to Adonis. Very memorable interview. Folks, the Sunday night, Juan After Dark.